I'm more than happy to talk about Jayden Wayne because he's really been having a good past week or so at fall camp. And I was out there at the Canes Fest scrimmage. He was playing mostly against third teamers, but he got 3 sacks in the scrimmage last week. And, maybe he might not have the immediate impact of a Reuben Bain, but I can see Jayden Wayne being kind of a sleeper to make some big plays this year.
This is something I haven't understood for quite a while. Maybe it's a location deal. Your point is right. He did play at IMG Academy, but Jayden is from the state of Washington, I believe Tacoma.
Yeah, that's right.
Kids up there, think about the national scuttlebutt right now. It's about conference realignment, right? Well, it's awkward for those teams going to the Big Ten. Well, it's awkward for us as scouts to get up there. So before his senior year, hardly anybody had seen Jayden, but he had offers from everybody. It was a weird combination because, they'll have 1 or 2 great players in Washington every year, but he was one of those guys, didn't do a ton of interviews, committed to Miami, and he fits the profile of an NFL defensive lineman. He's tall. He's at least 6'5", got extremely long arms. I'm sure you saw the picture that the University of Miami put out on Twitter. His length gives him a chance to do things other guys cannot, even by long arm standards, because he's a very powerful young man. He is the future of Miami's strong side defensive end, and I think he can play some inside long-term in passing situation. He's a versatile recruit for the Hurricanes. I'm not surprised he's making noise because he was at IMG. He was skilled anyway. And Jason Taylor is coaching him. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that he's pretty demanding. He's a Hall of Famer. They gave him the jacket. He did not buy it. There's going to be a big learning curve for any freshman. But if he's making noise, that means he's picked up on what Jason Taylor is telling Jayden Wayne. Very good sign for the Canes and Miami fans as well.
And Jayden Wayne is not the only player Miami signed out of IMG Academy by way of the Pacific Northwest.
That's right.
Because tight end Riley Williams is another one, Brian. And I don't know, maybe more people need to start scouting the Pacific Northwest. These guys wouldn't have to all move to Florida to get noticed by scouts. But Riley Williams is someone who, from the first few days of fall camp, and I talked about it on the show, super impressed not only by his size and his smooth route running, but by his hands. Like, he has very, very soft hands. And then it was explained to me, or reminded to me, that he comes from a high-level basketball background as well. We've seen a lot of tight ends over the years come from that, and basketball background. Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates. It's a good background to convert to tight end too. And what did you take from Riley Williams scouting him at IMG Academy?
He's a kid that just catches everything. He's I hate to use the most recent comparison, but it's a great one. Will Mallory. Like, Will caught a lot of balls. You're like, oh, that's not, oh, nice catch. You know what I mean? That play where the ball just doesn't look like it's going to work out, and then the guy makes the play. Riley can do that too. Very adept in the open field, making guys miss for a big guy. But most importantly, he finds a way to get open underneath. Being a tight end is rough because you're going to get hit. You're going to take pounding. He's a physical kid. He'll play in the middle of the field. He can play some at slot, not wide. He did that in the Future 50 last year. They had a 7-on-7, and he's going against elite corners and safeties, and he was making catches. I mean, these are elite players, and he was fine. If he can do it against them, we're good. It's just a matter of when he gets on the field. Miami's got some pretty good talent at tight end. It's just who's healthy. I know we're all anxious to see Arroyo, et cetera. But Riley Williams is one of those kids that's going to make an impact for the Canes. I'm telling you, he's going to be a really good player, especially watch him in the red zone. You're going to trust guys as a quarterback that have special hands. Riley does.